You may be seated.
Good morning. Today is April 28th. Welcome to Lawrence County Municipal Court. I'm Donald Capper. I'm the judge here. And the way we do things is first we review hearings for people who have orders they're completing. So it's a check on progress of those. When your name's called for review, come up to the table to your right and stand there. I'm going to go to your file with you. If you, at the end of the reviews, we'll start the new cases. If you're here for those, I'll have some instructions for you before we start those. If you don't get called as a review, you think you should have been on the docket, you need to go check in with the clerk so they can put you on the docket today. Call the reviews, please.
Alexis Anderson, Mark Bell, Stephanie Buck, Leroy Campbell, Linda Carpenter, Kevin Conrad, Naaman C. Cox, Robert Fox.
Alexis Anderson is 24-1605. She's a OVP. Okay. You've only been twice in the last month.
Is this something we need to continue? Okay, then I can do it whenever. Or make it today or next week. Times
Okay, based on that, I want you to go do a urine screen today.
Yes, sir.
Go to probation, do a urine screen, and come back after we do that. Mark Bell, 24-826, Mark Bell. Supposed to be a United Family Recovery inpatient. Is there anybody here from there? I think it's Nick.
He's here.
Okay.
My apologies. I did not bring a letter from Mr. Bell. He actually discontinued services. We communicated that with the probation department.
Okay, he left?
He left while at a meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
The bench warrant for failure to appear today and for leaving treatment. Stephanie Buff, 22-1061. You're just making payments on your fine. You didn't make a payment yet. Well, got
Right, day for
credit.
yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'll announce this for everyone. This weekend on Saturday, May the 3rd, is a double credit day because it's a township cleanup day. So anyone that comes for community service will get double credit toward their community service or their fine. If you,
I don't even know where you come at down here.
right here,
Oh, at what time?
7:30 a.m.
Okay, I've never been told. I always done it up in Portsmouth when I was doing it.
So you can get $100 off your fine by coming Saturday.
Okay.
Okay, I'll set your next hearing for May 27th.
All right.
If you get it finished, you don't have to come back.
right,
9 o'clock, May 27th. That's a Tuesday. Leroy Campbell is here.
Yeah.
That's a good report from RRS. Just working on finishing things up. You have a payment to make today?
Yes, sir.
How much?
$50.
50?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go see the clerk. You're doing well.
Thank you, sir.
Are Mondays better for you?
Either or, sir, it doesn't matter.
June the 9th, it's a Monday, 9 o'clock, June 9th.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Linda Carpenter, 231792. Any service is done, you just have to pay off your bonds.
Yes.
You have a payment today?
I think I did an extra day at community service.
Yes. You did get a credit on your fine, on food service.
Um,
And what I
I-
said, if you come Saturday, you'll get $100 credit for your fine. So you've already worked your community service off.
Well, may I ask what Saturday?
I'm sorry,
What's going on Saturday?
Township Cleanup Day, Union Township Cleanup Day. You'll go there, help people unload their trucks or bring stuff in. They'll feed you, it's not that hard.
Oh, what time
Community
Saturday?
service, 7:30 on the west side of the building,
West side of the building?
west,
Okay,
downriver.
yeah. Well,
I'll set you for June 2nd, your next hearing, 9 o'clock.
June 2nd.
Yes. Once you get this paid off, you can quit coming.
Okay.
Kevin Conrad, 231155.
Yes, sir.
And
Thank you.
you're welcome. You've done community service since your last hearing?
I think I made a payment last week too. Of one.
Yes, April 21st. Okay, you only have $100 left. If you came out Saturday, that would wipe it out.
Okay.
Okay, next hearing, June 9th. You should have it done by then and not have to be here. Just get what you owe taken care of, either by working it off or paying it.
All right, thank you.
9 o'clock, June 9th. Naaman Cox. 21-19-17, 22-16-63, 21-30-62, 23-5-69. And you still have community service to do. So
Yes.
you need to be out here Saturday.
I still didn't bring, last time I come in here, I had some on notebook paper that wasn't acceptable on notebook paper. I got the proper paperwork to have it put on properly, but I went and accumulated one more day again. But I didn't have it with me to have it signed onto that paper, so I still have no proof of it at the moment. I've been trying to catch him, he's been kind of busy the last few days, but I've been trying to get that written on the right documentation.
Where did you do it?
Waterloo
With the township, you know.
Okay. Are you
Seems-
paying anything on your fines today?
yes, sir, $100.
Okay,
And Your Honor, I do believe he has done that there, I just need the paperwork for it.
okay.
That's why he does not have credit for it
All right, get it turned in, go see the clerk to make your payment. You heard what I said about Saturday, if you're gonna work that day.
Yes, sir,
You still need some community service hours, so.
I do.
I'll set your next hearing for June 2nd.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 9 o'clock, June 2nd. Robert Fox.
Yes, sir.
24-1009. You paid all your fines off, you just have to get your community service done.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you know what you need to do.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yours is a newer case. I'm going to set you June 16th. That gives you plenty of time. You should you get it done by then. If you do, you don't have to be here.
16.
June 16th, 9 o'clock.
Buddy Hardy, Connor Harrison, Charles Hutchison, Buford Jones, Unahaka Justice, Damian Newcomb, Stephanie Romans, Michael Rowe, Ladana Walker.
Okay. Buddy Hardy. Buddy Hardy is case numbers 1870, 22600, 23287, 23532. He has not appeared, so there'll be a warrant issued. Connor Harrison. $24,813. Okay, looks like the only thing you got left to do is the driver intervention program.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, are you signed up for that yet?
No, I haven't got the PTO off work yet. They're still waiting to approve it, but it should be any moment now.
Okay. I'll give you a couple months since you've done everything else.
All right.
Okay, so we'll go into July.
Gotcha.
I'll make it July 14th. If you can get that completed and turned in by then, you don't have to come back. That's
All right.
all we've got left.
Sounds good. Thank you.
9 o'clock, July 14th.
Gotcha.
Charles Hutchison. Charles' case numbers are 18-12-10, 19-26-35, 21-5-84, 0-19 recovery. And he's there with common pleas too, right?
Correct.
Okay, it's good. You started out showing that you needed counseling, and now it looks like things are going the right way. That's the way I'm reading this, so
Yeah, he's doing well.
that's good. Making progress. Since you're being monitored by common pleas, I'm not going to see you for a couple of months soon. So, I'll set it for July 7th as your next hearing. July 7th, 9 o'clock.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Sure. Buford Jones. 2767, 2017-95. These are both just cases where you got to pay off bonds. Do you have a payment today?
Yeah, I got 20, I'm gonna pay you on it. And I done my last day, my community service hours, Saturday here.
Okay. You can, if you work Saturday, you'll get $100 off your fines. You'll get credit.
You'll knock it off on my fines?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you've already
When is
done
it?
community service or don't have any, you work it, we'll give you, because usually it's $50 a day, we're gonna give $100 credit for this Saturday.
All right.
Okay. You're gonna pay 20 today, right? Does it matter if it's Mondays or Fridays for you?
Don't matter.
Okay, I'm going to set yours for June 6th, which is a Friday, first Friday in June. Okay, next hearing, June 6th, 9 o'clock. Go see the clerk to make your payment.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're right, good deal.
Being a hot to justice, 24, 25, 44. Is that RRS? Okay, sounds like you need to work on the THC. Other than that, the report's okay. And you paid your fines. Okay, continue with your treatment. Next hearing, June 9th, 9 o'clock. Damian Newcomb,
Yes, sir.
24874. Okay, you just have 1 day community service?
Yes, sir. I was going to do it this weekend. I've been doing a lot of odd jobs.
Okay, well, if you do this weekend, that'll knock off the 1 day that you owe for community service, plus it'll take $50 off your fine.
Alrighty, sir. And I was going to pay $100 on my fine today.
Okay. So you'll go see the clerk to make that payment, and you don't have to do the driver intervention program if you did 3 days in jail. So you got your fine. I'll set you for June 16th, and you get that taken care of by then, you don't have to come back. And the 1 day of community service.
Alrighty,
June
thank you.
16th, 9 o'clock.
Alrighty, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Stephanie Romans is here, 173010. How are you, Ms. Romans?
Good, how are you?
The last time you were looking for work, how did that go?
Still looking. I've put
Okay.
about 50-some applications in.
All right, and you're still at hometown?
Yes, sir.
And some, like transitionary living or something, or?
Yes.
Okay. So you're gonna stay there, and what's the plan?
Actually, I'm on HUD housing and I'm at number 23.
So you just wait on a waiting list?
Yeah.
You
Okay.
have a report here.
Yes. It's a very good report.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Thank you.
Good screens.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to give you a couple months then before you come back. You're
Okay.
just about finished. Just want to make sure you stay on the right path.
Yes, sir.
Um, Let's make it at the end of June. June 27th.
Okay.
June 27th will be your next hearing.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Michael Rowe, 23-4. Michael Rowe's not here.
He's on Zoom.
Oh, he's on Zoom, okay. And he's at Star. Okay, well, when are you getting out of Star, Mr. Rowe? Do you have an idea?
I believe around September, if everything goes right.
Okay. Well, I'll set another hearing in August just to see how things are going. They'll let you appear by teleconference, right?
Yes.
Let's, to make it easy to remember, we'll make it August 1st, first day of August.
All right.
Thank you. August 1st, 9 o'clock is the next hearing.
Thank you.
Thank you. LaDonna Walker, 24609 is here. Community service done. Did some extra toward your fine. You've heard what I said about Saturday.
Yes, I'll be here.
Okay. Okay, what, you have to do the DIP school too, driver intervention, have you done that? Or?
No, I have not.
Okay. June 9th is your next hearing. 9 o'clock.
Recall Alexis Anderson.
Okay, it's acceptable screen. Continue with your counseling at OVP. Are you paying anything on your fines today?
Yes, sir. I'll pay 100 today. I also have my DIP school scheduled at the end of May.
Okay. See the clerk to make your payment.
Did you say June 9th for her next
I haven't said.
Okay.
So, but, that works. Let's just do that. June 9th. Your next hearing at 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
We're ready for arraignment.
And that finishes the reviews. We're going to start arraignments. So if you have a new case or an old case you missed a hearing and got a warrant you want recalled, you need to be in the courtroom now. I'm going to explain your rights to defendants. There was a video played that already explained it, but I'll go over it again. All defendants have a right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything, and everything you say in the courtroom is on the record. So if you admit something about your case, that can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney. You can have an attorney appointed if you can't afford one. You have a right to bail and to make a state prove any charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Those are the rights all defendants have. You waive those rights by entering a guilty or no contest plea. Don't do that if you don't understand what's happening, if you're confused, if you don't know what to do, if you want a trial or you want a lawyer. Any of those reasons, you should enter a not guilty plea. Call the first case.
State of Ohio versus James Dickus, case number CRB 25181.
Sir, are you James Dickus?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Dickus, the state's filed a complaint. Have you received a copy of it?
Yeah, right here.
Alleged disorderly conduct that on March 10th of 2025 in Perry Township, you caused inconvenience, annoyance, alarm to others by hindering or preventing movement on public street roads or highways or right-of-ways. That's a minor misdemeanor. There's no jail time on that. Maximum penalty is $150 fine. Do you understand the charge?
Yeah, but not really.
Well,
I do, but I don't.
you don't have to agree with it,
Okay.
but you need to understand it. It may be false. It may not be true.
Mhm.
You look like you want to say something.
I do.
Okay.
Well, there was another case with another gentleman that was filed at the same time, and we filed them as disorderly, but they kind of involved each other. And
Is
I
it
thought,
set for arraignment today?
yes, and I think it's Mr. Fortner, is that who it is?
Yes.
Tim Fortner.
State of Ohio versus Tim Fortner, case number CRB 25183.
Tim Fortner?
Tim Fortner.
You can come up forward, sir. Okay, and both of you are charged with disorderly conduct, and it's my understanding the state has something you want to say before we do the arraignment?
Well, I just wanted to know if they've settled their differences, if they still got a
I've only
problem.
met this guy twice.
I've only met him once or twice.
You don't have any reason to be around each other anymore?
No,
To figure out about the truck or whatever it was?
no, still ain't got that cured. That
No,
was-
they don't know the whole story of it, and, it needs to be told.
Well, are you guys gonna leave each other alone? is what I'm-
that one.
Yeah, I didn't want anything to do with him. Like I say, I never knew this guy till March the 9th when he found my brother dead.
Was it the 9th? I think it was before the 9th.
March
Anyway, I found his brother dead, my best friend. Yeah, it was sad.
There was a death involved and some issues about a truck or something, but if they can leave each other alone,
Yeah.
we'll go ahead and dismiss the charges.
Is that, he wants to dismiss against both of you, is that agreeable with both of you?
No, I want to file an assault charge against him. He sucker punched me for calling
No,
him a
sir.
liar.
I was at my house, and him and his brother come over, and I was just coming
Mr.
outside.
Fortner, you're Mr. Fortner, right?
I am Mr. Porter, yes.
Okay. It doesn't do you good to tell me now because it's not the trial. I can't do anything.
Right,
about it.
okay, yeah.
What
Yeah, I was
what's the
just
state
gonna
going
go.
to do then?
I guess we'll set them both for trial, and we may end up filing assault charges on both of them.
Okay. All right, well, let's go ahead with the arraignment. You're both charged with disorderly conduct, which is a non-jailable offense, maximum penalty $150 fine at this point. You have a right to have an attorney, but at this point, you're not charged with a jailable offense. So I can't appoint a lawyer. You can only get an appointed lawyer if you're charged with an offense for which you could go to jail. Neither one of you are. It's only a fine at this point. So,
May I say something?
you can...
Officer Atkins was supposed to be here today. He's the one that took pictures of him. I was hit in the face with a board.
Okay. So, I'll enter a not guilty plea for both of you.
Not guilty.
And then I'll just set it for a hearing.
Yes,
Then you
sir.
can tell me, you can tell me the facts then, and I'll make
Okay.
a decision at that
Yes,
point.
sir.
But today, I can't make a decision.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We need to pick a date. Does it matter to either one of you? Are you both available on Mondays and Fridays? That's court days.
Monday's better for me.
I have a special needs daughter now. She goes to the indoor up in Colgrove, open door, I'm sorry. And she has Hashimoto and Downs, and it's pretty hectic, but I'll try Monday with him, yes.
Mondays are better?
Okay.
Okay. I'll set it for May the 19th for trial at noon, 12 p.m. on May the 19th. Any questions? If you have witnesses, you need to have them here that day. You can subpoena witnesses through the clerk.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions?
No.
Okay. Not guilty pleas in for both of you. Trial set for May 19th, 12 p.m.
Thank you, Judge
You're
Gafford.
welcome.
State of Ohio versus Brittany Smith, case number TRD 25820. Brittany Smith.
I'll try.
Brittany Smith has been called for, has not appeared. She was cited in today. At 9 a.m. she's failed to appear, so there'll be a capias for failure to appear.
State of Ohio versus Tamara Wilson, case number TRD 25834.
And ma'am, are you Tamara Dawn Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Wilson, it's alleged April 27th at 2:20 p.m. in Fayette Township, you were driving a vehicle with the wrong plates on it, so that's what's called fictitious registration. It's actually a jailable offense. It's a 4th degree misdemeanor. Maximum penalty is 30 days in jail, $250 fine. Do you understand the charge?
Yeah.
Do you understand your rights?
Yeah.
How do you plead?
No contest.
No contest means I'm not fighting this charge. I'm not admitting I did it, but I'm not fighting it either. And I agree I can be found guilty if the court thinks the state has enough evidence to convict me. If what the state says it has as evidence is legally enough for a conviction, I agree I can be found guilty without a problem for it. Do you understand that's what no contest means?
Did you say I could get an attorney?
You can get an attorney on this charge if you qualify financially. I have to ask you about your income.
I don't have a job right now.
Okay, so you want a court-appointed lawyer?
Yes, please.
You have no income?
No.
I'll appoint Mr. Stratton to represent you. Not guilty plea is entered. And I take it, do you have a West Virginia license, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What's you need that?
When do you want to set this, Mr. Stratton?
I am good on dates, Your Honor, so for the next month and a half, so at any time. And sign right there. This is
The 9th?
Yes. Yeah, that'll work.
May 9 will be the next hearing, will be a free trial, 10 o'clock. She can sign a $500 signature bond.
Go outside and talk. All right, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Bridget L. Duncan, case number CRB 25182.
Ma'am, are you Bridget L. Duncan?
Yes.
Did you receive a copy of the charge?
Yes.
The charge is misconduct at an emergency. The state's filed a charge alleging that on March the 16th of 2025, you knowingly failed to obey the lawful order of a law enforcement officer engaged in duties at the scene of a fire, accident, disaster, riot, or emergency. That's a 4th degree misdemeanor. Maximum penalty is 30 days in jail, $250 fine. Do you understand the charge?
Yes.
Do you understand your rights? How do you plead to this charge?
Guilty.
Guilty means you're admitting it's true, and by doing that, you waive the right to have a trial, to have a lawyer, and make the state prove the charge beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand that? Okay. You probably need Mr. Hill to come in. Yeah. Mr. Hill, this is Bridget Duncan, misconduct at an emergency. She's pled guilty, so I wonder if you have a report you could give the court.
I do, Your Honor. And this is Deputy Bryce Atkins. March 16, 2025, at approximately 20:48 hours, so 8:48 in the evening, I was dispatched to a motor vehicle accident involving injuries in the 1400 block of State Route 243. Sergeant Riley and I arrived to find a silver Honda Civic in a ditch on private property adjacent to State Route 243 in front of 1731 State Route 243. Upon arrival, I was informed that the driver, later identified as Dakota Stevens, age 16, was in the back of the ambulance and appeared to be intoxicated. By the way, this is Perry Township, so we got the right court. Dakota was in and out of consciousness, emitting a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, and had vomited on himself. Sergeant Riley attempted to speak with Dakota while I began photographing the crash scene. A records check determined that Dakota did not have a valid driver's license. Sergeant Riley advised that he had contacted Sisler's Towing for the vehicle. Our efforts to find and contact his legal guardians were initially unsuccessful. Dakota was transported to St. Mary's Ironton for medical evaluation. While I conducted the crash investigation, Ohio State Highway Patrol advised that they would go to the residence to try to get Dakota's parents' information. I then went to speak with Dakota in the back of the squad when OSP advised the female at the residence was being disorderly and requested my assistance. I went and spoke to the female, Bridget Duncan, who appeared extremely intoxicated, yelling at the OSP. OSP advised her to go back in her residence because of her being disorderly, but she refused. I took this as meaning that she had no connection to the person who crashed. I advised her to go back in the residence, and she did so, but returned back outside shortly after. I advised Bridget that she can be outside as long as she's not causing a disturbance. I then went back to investigate the crash scene. I tried speaking with Dakota again and read him the BMV Form 2255. While continuing my investigations, Bridget came back to the scene, hindering the operations. When requested, she went back into her residence. Again, while continuing the investigation, Bridget returned to the scene, causing a disturbance and hindering the operations. I again spoke with her and advised her she can be outside but cannot cause a disturbance. I then walked her back to her residence and returned to my patrol car to finish the investigation. Shortly after, I was approached by two firefighters advising that Bridget had returned to the scene, being disorderly and hindering operations. When walking to where she was at, Bridget was yelling, causing a disturbance while getting in the emergency personnel's faces while they were attempting to conduct traffic control. Both OSP and I issued repeated warnings for her to stay inside, not cause a disturbance, and not interfere with the scene. Because of this, she was placed under arrest for disorderly conduct while intoxicated after warning and misconduct at an emergency scene. While in the back of my patrol car, she kept kicking the door and screaming. After obtaining Dakota's guardian's contact information from OSP, I spoke to his guardian, Luther Bowen, by phone. I advised him of the situation and informed him that Dakota was being transported to St. Mary's Ironton. Luther stated that he would be on his way to the hospital. After clearing the crash scene, I transported Bridget to the Lawrence County Jail. During the transport, she continued to scream and yell at me, but was booked in without any further incident. The rest of this is just about this other person that had they put together two different narratives in one narrative. So Ms. Duncan, for some reason, was acting out while they were trying to investigate the OVI case.
Do you have an explanation, ma'am, you wish to make?
Yes. I was unaware that he had took the keys to my vehicle and had wrecked my car. He had wrecked over my hillside.
Okay, let's back up. Is this Dakota?
Yes.
Some relation to you?
No. He's a friend of a friend, and he was supposed to be being sent off for the same reasons, and I wanted to visit with him, and he come over. But when he was dropped off, he was already intoxicated. Luther and Bree Bohan both know that as well.
So this vehicle that he was driving was your vehicle?
Yes. And I did not put my keys up. That was my fault. That was my fault. He took it over the hillside.
In front of your residence, or?
Yes, he put the car in drive and took it over my hillside, right into the ditch line, right across by the main road.
Okay.
I was standing at the bottom of my driveway and I was asking them repeatedly what was wrong with Cody, what was wrong with my car. I couldn't really get a straightforward answer, but I was also intoxicated, so I wasn't.
What's your relationship to this Dakota?
I have no relation.
Why would he be coming to your house?
He was coming to visit a friend.
Who's the friend?
His name's Aaron.
Is that a relative of yours?
No, I was just, it was a boyfriend.
Well, I mean, you're 31 years old and this kid's 16. What's he doing at your house? You're intoxicated and he's intoxicated.
He came to visit.
Okay, he came to visit, but that doesn't make any sense to me. Usually 16-year-olds are not hanging out with 31-year-olds and getting drunk.
Your Honor, he was going to court on Monday for the same situation. and
Why
he
are
was
you
coming-
why does it matter if he's not a
I don't
relative
know.
of yours? Why are you hanging out with a teenage boy that's 16? And he's not supposed to be drinking alcohol or any intoxicants.
I don't know. I have no answer.
And that was happening at your house?
Yes.
He got drunk at your house?
No. They dropped him off drunk.
Who dropped him
He
off?
was intoxicated already when he come to my house.
Who dropped him
Luther
off?
Bohan and Bree Bohan.
Who are they?
That's his foster parents.
The foster parents dropped him off at your place drunk
Yes.
and continued to consume, was it alcohol there?
I don't know if he consumed alcohol. I know that I had drank. I know that the bottle that I had was gone.
And it sounds like from reading the rest of this, he was already in trouble. He had to report to Greenup County, Kentucky for some sort of offense over there.
Yes, he had been going through a lot. He had come over to see Aaron. His brother just committed suicide. I allowed him to come over. I don't know him personally that well, but I was trying to open up and, get to know him and be there for him. He has been going through a lot.
Mr. Hill, what's the state's position on this?
It sheds an entirely different light on it. The report said nothing about that being her car. Maybe if I'd have looked a little bit deeper into it.
I don't see it anywhere in the affidavit. Was there insurance on the vehicle?
Yes. Yes, it was in my driveway.
So you don't, I assume from what's said it was damaged.
Well, the front bumper was cracked, yes. It just slid down the hill into a ditch line.
Okay. But if there's any damages, you'll be able to get that from your insurance company.
Yes.
You have full coverage?
No, I have a liability.
Well, I don't know if you'll be able to get that from them
The
or
car
not, but you're saying you did not allow him to...
I did not allow him to drink alcohol.
You did not allow him to take the vehicle?
I did not allow him to take my vehicle.
State take any position on...
Probably more to the story than we would ever be able to.
It's rather bizarre to me, the whole circumstance.
Yes.
Well, as far as the disposition in this case, I don't know, given the circumstances as they appear, whether there may be an issue that Ms. Duncan needs to deal with as far as alcohol.
Do you have children then?
Yes.
How old are they?
He's 8.
So he's not a friend of Duncan, because Duncan was the minor involved here. Dakota. You're Duncan, your last name. It was Dakota was the 16-year-old. Are you employed?
No. I'm waiting on a call back from the Kenworth factory up in Chillicothe in PW.
I'd like to have an assessment and suspended jail time and some community service.
Do you have a medical card?
Yes.
Ohio? And you live on State Route 243?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to order that you do an assessment with Bethesda. Taylor will talk to you about it for substance use. And that'll be part of your sentence. Do you have anything else you want to tell me about this before I sentence you? You have the right to make a further statement if you want. Is there anything else you want to say?
No.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to impose a $200 fine. I'll order you to pay the court costs. 30 days in jail, which I'll suspend on the condition that you go get the assessment that I suggested or ordered for substances, and do 5 days of community service. We have a community service program here. You can get 2 days knocked out this Saturday if you come.
I'll be here.
Work this Saturday at 7:30 a.m. We're giving a double credit because it's township cleanup day. What happened?
Sorry about that. I'd like to clear out.
Okay. Assessment with Bethesda, 5 days community service, 2 years of probation is just till you finish everything. Once you're finished, you'll terminate, but 2 years. Level 4 probation. You'll need to meet with your probation officer today, Mr. Major, his office to the left as you leave the courtroom. And I'll set a review hearing for you October 24th, so that gives you, you've got all summer to get everything done. If you do get it all done, you don't have to come to that hearing. If you don't get it done, you gotta show up. If you don't show up and you have stuff left to do, you automatically get a warrant for not showing up.
What time at?
9 a.m. It'll be on, you're gonna get judgment entry that has everything on it. And it's a good time where everybody's here listening. I'm assuming you got a smartphone. Everybody has a smartphone. There's no excuse that people say, I didn't remember, I lost my paper. The court has a website, Lawrence County Municipal Court. You can Google it, it'll pop up. You can do a record search, it'll show you what your case, what you've got to do, when your dates are. So there's no excuses for not knowing what you got to do and when you got to show up, even if you lose your paperwork. Or we actually have phones, and people here will still answer the phone if you call and answer your questions very happily. Okay. Go see the probation officer, then you're free to go. And talk to Taylor too, I didn't mention that. Talk to Taylor, she's out in the lobby waiting on you.
State of Ohio versus Jessica Christian, case number TRD 183566 A and B, TRD 19255 A and B, TRD 222505 A and B.
All right, Ms. Christian, you had a review hearing on last Friday. You weren't here?
Yeah, I was really sick. Me and my kids all were.
Okay.
I called and they said come this morning.
And you did make a payment today. So I'll cancel the warrant. It actually hasn't been issued yet. And give you a new hearing date.
Okay. I apologize for that again.
Thank you. I'll make it May 27th. That's a Tuesday. Because the 26th is Memorial Day holiday, so we'll have to put it on Tuesday, the 27th. 9 o'clock is your next hearing, May 27th.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Ron Witherell, case number TRC 164698 A, B, and C, CRB 131151, CRB 14844 A and B.
All right, Mr. Witherell is here. You had a review on April the 4th, and that's the last mark here then.
Right.
Do you admit or deny that?
I admit it.
You have an explanation?
I was in jail, and I just did 7 months. And just got out.
Where were you in jail?
Huh?
Where?
Gallup, please.
Okay. You still have some community service to do. If
Yes,
you
sir.
get that done, you can get double credit this Saturday.
Okay.
Get that finished, I'll withdraw the warrant since you came in.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Set your next review for May 27th. signing and May 27th.
Okay.
Are you paying anything on your fines today?
Yeah, I paid 20 on it today.
Okay. May 27th will be your next hearing.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
That's all the arraignments we have for right now.
Okay, that's all the arraignments we have. I think there's more coming. They aren't finished with the paperwork yet, so if you were told to be here, don't wait. We'll still get to you. They're still processing paperwork, but we're going to go to some of the existing pretrials now.
State of Ohio versus Robert Napier, case number CRB 25-177.
Mr. DeWaters' case set for pretrial.
What's her name?
Alicia.
Alicia Huffman? Your Honor, if it please the court, I've spoken with Ms. Huffman, and she's urging that we dismiss the charge today. She says that it's a one-time thing, and he's really not like that. And besides that, they've agreed on how to divide up their belongings or whatever in their separate directions. However, the allegations are pretty serious. And so we're not willing to dismiss the charges today, but we would, under the circumstances, agree to hold the case out for about 90 days, and if there aren't any further problems going forward, we would agree to a dismissal of the charges later on with the payment of court costs.
She doesn't want a protection order.
And apparently she doesn't want a protection order either.
She wants the protection order withdrawn, or?
Yes.
Is that correct, ma'am?
Let's do the 90-day continuance.
Is that agreeable with Mr. Napier?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
So we're looking at end of July sometime?
Okay, 21st, is that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's a Monday, July 21st. Since there's no protection order, I won't require him to appear if there's no further problems in the cost of it.
I'll get the court costs from him before that day, Judge.
Okay, July 21st will be on the docket as a pretrial.
Thank you.
Dismiss that if there's no further problems in the cost of it.
Thank you. Can you wait on me out there for a minute?
State of Ohio versus Joshua Grew, case number TRC 2348 A and B, CRA 24743.
Yes.
Judge, this is one that you had already sentenced Mr. Groob on the OVI offense. The state was willing to dismiss the felony charge on forfeiture of the firearm. However, you wanted to make sure Mr. Groob completed his court-ordered requirements as part of the OVI, which I think he's done at this point. I confirmed with staff that he's paid his fines off in full, he's completed all of his community service, and he's completed the counseling that he was in.
He was there for community service.
Okay.
I was not the one to check this.
I've got a print off if you want it, Judge.
That's fine. Right, case will be completed, no further reviews.
And then, Judge, I believe the state's willing to move to dismiss the felony charge on forfeiture of the firearm, and I've got the serial number for that firearm if you need it.
I don't have a case number on there.
24 CRA 743, I think.
743?
Yes, sir.
And what was the agreement, forfeiture of the firearm?
Yes, the state's willing to dismiss at this point.
Okay, be dismissed on forfeiture and order of destruction of the firearm.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Casey Ann Drake, case number CRA 2591, CRB 2592, A and B.
It's Mr. H's case today for preliminary hearing and pre-trial.
Your Honor, Mr. Hill and I discussed these cases this morning. We've discussed a potential resolution. He provided a CD with some body cam footage I'd like to review. I'd ask the court to set this for a further pretrial and preliminary hearing on Friday, June 6th, if the court's available.
That should work. Let me pull that. Yes, that'll be fine. And that's it, defendant's request.
Yes, sir.
June 6th will be the next hearing on everything before the court at 10 a.m.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Jeremy McLeod, case number TRC 25691.
681. This is Mr. Finley's case? Yes, sir. Good morning. This is
First pre-trial, Judge, I talked to Mr. Hill in Chambers. We have written discovery. I just got, it looks like the Axon body cam and dash cam on Friday. So at the defense motion, we'd like to set this for another pre-trial for June 2nd, if that was all right.
Yes, you
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Defendant's request case is continued to June 2nd for another pretrial at 10 a.m. June 2nd, 10 a.m.
State of Ohio versus Trenton Singer Turner, case number TRC 25651, A and B.
Mr. Finley, this is your case.
Yeah, Judge, this is pretty much the same thing here. We set pretty early, so we have written discovery and working on the digital data here.
You want the same date?
Same date if we could, Your Honor.
June 2nd will be the next hearing, pretrial, 10 a.m.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Corey Brewer, case number CRB 25155, A and B, CRB 25156.
It's Mr. Steyer's case set for pretrial.
The state is a 90-day continuance. If you got 9 days without further final payment, the cost case will be dismissed. There is one that's going to do that. Jason, who's the alleged victim here, is not Jason Brandon, or a different person. I don't know what that means, but that's how he can take it as a yeah, the 90 days.
Protection. Are you wanting to keep the protection order in the 90-day continuance?
Yes.
Yes,
Is that on
both of them.
both?
Yeah, so keep the protection order. Yeah. That part's not a problem. You'd have to come back with a protection order. She'll have to come back one more time 90 days from now. We don't have it yet. We'll ask the judge for it.
Your Honor, I believe this one, we have, the state has offered a 90-day continuance if there's no further if there are no further problems and upon payment of court costs, the case would be dismissed. Mr. Brewer is agreeable to that. He needs the 90 days to come up with the court costs anyway. There is a protection order in this case, so I believe this is one where we would need to have an appearance.
And Luke, could you come here?
Just a second, I'm sorry.
He wants to make clear to you that the person involved here is not who you thought it was, it's somebody else. I don't understand exactly what that means, but we'll discuss it.
So, Your Honor, like I said, he needs about 90 days to get the costs together, so
In July.
It's usually about $150 to $175. So get that paid before.
Okay. So we're looking at July. Does Monday or Friday matter to you?
Whatever the court's got.
Okay, 28th, 25th.
28th is good, July 28th.
Okay. I got it right here for you.
For pretrial. Be dismissed then if there's no further problems and costs are paid, and he does have to appear because there's a protection.
There you go. Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Summer M. Crane. Case number CRD 25198.
Stiers, case after pretrial.
We had some discussion of this in the back, but the state wanted to speak to the victim, so just a moment.
Your Honor, we're not able to reach an agreement today. They've made an offer, but we don't believe that it's appropriate under the circumstances. And we're also going to have some restitution issues as well. So if you want to go ahead and set it for a trial, we can do that.
Well, I mean, if you've got additional discovery, I'd like to have a chance to get that before we come into a trial, so I'd like to ask for one more pre-trial. What sort of a time frame are we looking at for setting cases, Your Honor?
May 12th or after.
Does Monday or Friday matter to you?
Okay. Let's go with May 16th if we could, Your Honor.
May 16th will be the next hearing. It'll be a pre-trial, 10 o'clock.
May 16th.
10 o'clock.
This needs a date discovery, don't you?
State of Ohio versus Stanley Napier, case number CRB 25201. Stanley Napier.
Mr. Napier was in the courtroom earlier.
He's here, he ran to the restroom real quick.
Okay, we'll recall it later.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Amber Mills, case number CRB 23624, CRB 23556. Amber Mills.
Mr. Stratton's case. Got a report from hometown. She's left treatment, it sounds like, and she had a positive test for alcohol, which has been her problem.
Yeah.
So she'll have 7 days to come in before more issues.
Yes, Your Honor.
We're supposed to find a license today. She wasn't just, I know, I'm just looking at
State of Ohio versus Sid Monter, case number CRB 24258, PRC 24481.
Mr. Stratton's case.
Okay, okay, all right. Your Honor, we set this from Friday, and he just has an oral report. I mean, that's,
Oh, nothing has changed since Friday.
so everything's good, but I think we set it today because I believe we wanted to resolve it.
Well, he said that he wanted to change everything, if I recall, that we had some kind of agreement as what was going to happen, and he wanted to change that.
I've since
Or
decided
where he was
to,
going
they
to
moved,
do treatment and what he was going to do.
I've decided to stay at Riverside.
Okay, he's decided to stay at RRS.
Or RRS, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we were going to do sentencing, right? We were going to do sentencing, and that was going to be part of it.
Yeah, that's what we were going to do, finalize it. Finalize the sentencing and make the condition of his probation complete.
All right, remind me what the recommendation was.
Well, Your Honor, you know what, I don't have the file out here because it was set for May 23rd or whatever. Is this a first offense?
Looks like it.
Yeah. So we're not opposed to a sentence in line with the mandatory minimums. And as far as the 3-day driving school, we would not oppose if the court ordered that his treatment would stand in lieu of the 3-day driving school.
So I think initially what we were going to do was delay sentencing till May 23rd and let him go to, he was going to go to RRS.
Mm-hmm.
He's finishing up at ODP, And he wanted to do something different, after we'd already discussed it, he said, oh,
Yeah,
now he's
but
saying he will go to RRS.
he'll stay at RS. So you just,
So let's go back to the 23rd date, I'll do the sentencing there, we'll get a report then as to how he's doing at RRS. Do sentencing on May 23rd at 10 o'clock.
all right, so 23rd.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio recall Stanley Napier, case number CRB 25201.
This is Mr. Steyer's case. Pre-trial, Stanley Napier.
And Your Honor, this case is one, it's sort of a cross-filing, but the other party is in juvenile court, which is complicated a little bit what we're doing here. What I'd like to do with this is eventually do a 90-day continuance, but I think Mr. Heald's waiting to find out more information from the juvenile court.
In the juvenile court, the next hearing for the juveniles on May the 20th, and there is a protection order in place for Mr. Napier to stay away from the juvenile, and apparently he's no longer in the household.
That's correct. He's no longer living there. We've had some difficulty getting his belongings returned to him from the juvenile's guardian, who is not technically a party to the case, but a bunch of, he was living there at one time, so a bunch of his belongings are still at the house. So that's what I'm going to ask the state to kind of try to coordinate on, if they can, to try to get his belongings back. But there's a protection order. He has no contact with the juvenile, so there's no issues currently. But I guess, like I said, we're kind of waiting to see how things play out in juvenile court.
Yeah, we want to find out what direction that's going and find out a little bit more about the facts.
So you're saying the 21st is the next date?
The 20th, I believe.
Of what, May?
May.
We could come back May 23rd, Your Honor.
Do you want to try to have someone reach out to the guardian today? Do you have contact information?
I do, and I'm not getting anywhere. So I think if the state were to say, hey, facilitate that, it might help move things along a little bit.
We can try to do that today, Your Honor.
I don't have a phone number for the guardian. She's been texting me through some kind of an email-related app. I've passed that on to Jasmine, but Jasmine said that as of this morning, she hasn't been able to reach her.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'll look into it then.
So
we may have a phone number I can pass along to Jasmine.
Okay, so you want to recall it then?
No, I don't think we need to deal with that today. I think I can deal with that behind the scenes. I'm just raising the issue for Mr. Heald's benefit.
May 23rd then?
May 20th.
May 23rd will be the next hearing, will be a pre-trial at 10 o'clock.
May 23rd, thank you. I'll get that phone number to them.
We have some more arraignments, Your Honor.
Okay, we have some arraignments, some new cases to do now. We just got the paperwork on.
State of Ohio versus Amy Van Zandt, case number TRC 25830. Amy Van Zandt.
This Dorothy just talked to me now.
Amy Van Zandt was cited to be in court here today, 9 a.m. Has failed to appear. There will be a habeas issued. It's an OSP arrest. I don't get this, why they would release this person. It's a second offense, and an out-of-state person from Kentucky, and also has indications of drug use. And they just release him to a friend. So, big surprise, she didn't show up. Habeas will be issued to the OSP.
State of Ohio versus Madison L. Sanford, case number CRB 25184.
Is there a Tommy Scarberry? This is just random. Yeah.
And you're Madison L. Sanford?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Sanford, it's alleged that on March the 16th of 2025, you knowingly caused Tommy Lee Scarberry to believe you caused physical harm to his person or property. That's a menacing charge. It's a 4th-degree misdemeanor. Maximum penalty is 30 days in jail, $250 fine. Do you understand the charge?
Yeah.
Do you understand your rights?
Yeah.
How do you plead?
Not guilty.
You want a lawyer appointed?
Yeah.
Do you have a job?
No.
Do you have no income?
No, I recently found out I was pregnant, so I had to quit my job.
I didn't hear the, I heard the pregnant part. What was after that?
I still had to recently quit my job.
Okay. Mr. Morford, I'll appoint you. State's position on bond.
We're not opposed to an OR bond, Your Honor, and I've been speaking with Mr. Scarberry, the alleged victim, and he doesn't want to pursue this at all. However, under the circumstances, I believe it's appropriate to go out some length of time, and if there aren't any further problems, we can agree to dismiss the charges with the payment of court costs later. So I don't think it needs 90 days. I was thinking more on the order of 30 days.
Okay, Mr. Morford, the state's made an offer to dismiss in 30 days. If there's no further problems, he pays the court costs.
Since you don't know your phone numbers, yeah. Right address.
Agreeable attached.
Okay, so May 27th?
Yeah.
Next hearing is May 27th, 10 o'clock.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, let us know if you have any problems. Okay.
State of Ohio versus Jana Mason, case number CRB 25246.
Gina Mason.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's you, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's bring you a copy of the charge. It's a theft charge. It alleges that at Fayette Township, April 26th of this year, you purposely tried to deprive Walmart of property without their consent. It's a first-degree misdemeanor, maximum penalty is 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. Do you understand the charge?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand your rights?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead?
I'm not guilty.
You want a lawyer appointed to represent you?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a job?
No, sir.
I'll appoint Mr. Steyer. She can sign a $1,000 signature bond. I've entered a not guilty plea. When would you, I'm setting cases May 12th or after.
I think we just set one for the, hang on, for the 16th, Your Honor, if we could go with that.
And I'm thinking she was cited in court and did not go to jail, is that correct?
Right.
As a condition of your bond, I'm going to order you to report to the jail to get fingerprinted. I have to require you to get fingerprinted.
Okay.
You go to jail to do that as part of the bond. You know where the jail is?
No, my husband does.
It's right across from the main courthouse in our.
May 16.
May
10
16th
a.m.
will be the next hearing, and that'll be a pretrial 10 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So, just wait out there. I'm talking a couple minutes. Just wait for me in the lobby. Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Mike Ferris, case number CRB 25247.
Yes, sir.
You are Mike Ferris.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Ferris, you're charged with theft, April 26, 2025, Fayette Township, that you purposely deprived Walmart of property without their consent. Maximum penalty for that is 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. Do you understand the charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you wish to plead to it?
Not guilty.
Do you have a job?
No, sir. I was just laid off.
From where?
Ferris Underground.
Are you getting any kind of benefits?
No, sir.
Okay. I'll appoint Mr. Morford to represent you. Not guilty plea is entered. There's a co-defendant we just set for May the 16th. Are you able to do May 16th, Mr. Morford? Okay, May 16 will be the next hearing. $1,000 signature bond with a further condition he has to go to the jail and get fingerprinted. Pre-trial May 16th, 10 o'clock.
Thank you, Judge.
Your Honor, we're ready to go to Lawrence County Jail.
Okay, we have some hearings to do at the jail by teleconference. We're doing now.
State of Ohio versus Oscar Leach, case number CRB 25244.
We're busy this week.
All right, sir, can you hear me? Mr. Leach, is it Mr. Leach? Can you hear me okay, Mr. Leach? Okay. I'm Judge Capper at the Lawrence County Municipal Court. This is your arraignment hearing. Everything you say and your image also is being recorded. You have a right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything, but it's all on the record, so it can be used against you if you admit something about your case. You have a right to have an attorney, to have one appointed if you can't afford one. You have a right to bail and to make the state prove the charge beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand those things? Okay, you're charged with a theft offense. The state's alleging that on April 26th, in Fayette Township, you tried to defraud Walmart of property without their consent. It's a first-degree misdemeanor theft. Maximum penalty is 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. You understand that charge? Yes, sir. Okay, and you also have, I'm told, I've got a copy of a warrant out of Jackson County, Ohio. But there's no Rule 4 hearing on this because it touches Lawrence County. So if there is a warrant for your arrest, it's alleged, at least for a Oscar E. Leach with a April 22nd date of birth. And that was on some sort of drug possession charge. Yes, sir. So there'll be a holder on you from that court as well. All right, so what's remaining to this court is the theft. How do you plead to the theft charge that's filed against you? You want a lawyer appointed to represent you? Yes, sir. You're going to hire your own lawyer? Yes, sir. Do you have a job? Yes, sir. Okay. What's the state's position on bond? He has a $5,000 bond out of Jackson County.
We'd ask for a $5,000 cash assured bond.
Okay, I'll set your bond at $5,000 cash assured here. Do you think you can post that?
But I just started work, so I know I'm not eligible for public attorney.
Well, where do you work?
Excuse me?
Where do you work?
Out of my shop, it's the shops, body, and
Are you paid by the hour? How do you get paid?
it's, I get paid by the day. I get paid $75 a day. So, just
When did you start working?
last week,
Have you received a paycheck yet?
yes, sir. I get paid daily,
Okay, how much do you get paid each day usually?
$75.
Okay, you're eligible for court-appointed lawyer then. So I'll go ahead and appoint a lawyer for you. Mr. Steyer. We'll get him in the courtroom. Here he is. He's coming in now. This is Oscar Leach. He has a misdemeanor theft from Walmart charge here in our county that he's probably not guilty to, and he has a warrant out of Jackson County on some kind of possession charge also.
How long has he been in jail, sir?
Since Saturday, 2 days.
2 days?
You want to talk to him and maybe recall?
Yeah, I think that this may be worth recalling.
All right, your lawyer is going to call down and talk to you, Mr. Leach, and then we may or may not, depending on how your conversation goes, call you, but I'll go ahead and set, just in case, a hearing for Ryan's May 5th.
I'm not here May 5th, Your Honor.
Darn. May 9th.
I am here May 9th.
May 9th.
Thank you.
Okay, your lawyer's going to call and talk to you, sir. So if you could hold him out so you can be placed on the telephone.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Cassie D. Slovis, case number CRB 25-245 A and B. Carl Tooley is on deck.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yeah.
How do you pronounce your last name? Ma'am, how do you pronounce your last name?
Cassie Slovis.
Slovis?
Slovis, yeah.
All right. I have charges filed against you alleging that on April 26th in Fayette Township, he purposely tried to deprive Walmart of property without their consent. And that's the A case. That's a first-degree misdemeanor, maximum penalty 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. The B case is criminal trespass, alleging that you didn't have permission to enter on the premises of Walmart. Trespassing is a fourth-degree misdemeanor, maximum penalty is 30 days in jail, $250 fine. Do you understand those two charges?
Yes.
You have the right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything. If you choose to make statements, though, it's on the record. It can be used against you, whatever you say. You have a right to have an attorney, to have one appointed if you can't afford one, to have bail, and to make the state prove these charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand those things?
Yes.
Okay, how do you plead to these two charges?
If I plead out today, what will happen?
You'll get sentenced?
I mean, what?
Well, it doesn't work, I don't promise you what you'll get sentenced before, because I don't know anything about the facts yet. I'll get the facts after your plea. So if you're not sure what to do, not guilty is the safest plea.
Not guilty.
Okay? Do you wish to be considered for a court-appointed lawyer?
Yes, please.
Do you have a job?
No.
You have no income?
No.
I'll appoint Mr. Stratton to represent you. Is he still here? Stratton?
I do not believe it. The only ones I've seen is Mr. Morford and Mr. Steiner.
All right, if Stratton's not here, I'll appoint Morford. Mr. Morford, I'm appointing you to represent Cassie Sloas.
Kathy.
S-L-O-A-S is the last name. She has a Walmart theft and trespassing charge for Walmart. I'm going to not guilty plea for her. Got a Louisville, Kentucky address. Is that the correct address, ma'am?
No.
What's your current address?
117,
117 what?
17 Duncan Road.
1217 Duncan Road. What post office?
It's 41102 is the zip code.
What's the post office?
Ashland.
Ashland, Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
State's position on bond.
I'm sorry.
State, I'm asking the prosecutor for his recommendation on your bond.
Oh, okay.
The state would request a $2,500 cash assurance bond.
Okay, I'm going to set bond at $2,500 cash for surety. Is that a bond you think you could post?
No.
Okay, and you've been in jail since when?
The 26th.
26? Saturday.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Morford will call down and talk to you. I will set your next hearing for May 5th.
So I have to make till May 5th.
That'll be your next hearing unless we change it later. Your lawyer's going to call and talk to you, so he may want to change it after that.
Can we, is there anything else we can do with the bond?
Yes.
I'll talk with you in a minute.
He can talk to you about the bond. He can make some sort of motion if you feels it's appropriate. Change the bond.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Carl Tooley, case number CRB 23325, TRD 051474, TRC 051584. Joseph Barber is on deck.
I believe this is your case, isn't it, Mr. Moore?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Set for a pre-trial.
A number of cases, I believe, Judge, were sent to the grand jury.
He had one charge that was a misdemeanor that is still here. Or more than one.
He's got some old cases. Was there an indictment or?
That's what I'm looking for right now.
We're missing this file. Missing. I'm just gonna look at some things.
There hasn't been an indictment.
Your Honor, if I may, Mr. Tooley has a hold from county police court
No, it's not on here.
from charges that came from this court.
Okay. Do you have a lawyer in common pleas, Mr. Tooley?
No, sir.
You haven't appeared there yet?
No, sir.
So I'm assuming it's not showing up on the website yet, so you don't have a date or anything for his arraignment?
No, I don't. What he has pending here, I believe, is 23 CRB 325, which is a domestic violence.
Do you know whether or not the victim still wants to pursue, but
I know the victim is his father. He was out of the court for quite a while.
I'm sorry.
Is that the one his mom came here?
Okay.
I've got notes on this.
According to that, I think he has been indicted, just hasn't been filed yet.
Yes, he has been. That's the one.
Well, we'd like to clear this misdemeanor charge up if we can. What'd you say, Judge?
Can you get a hold of his father, Carl Tooley? You have contact information?
I think we do.
I mean, we can set it for another hearing if you want, because he's got to hold her out of common pleas anyway.
and I would imagine it's going to be arraigned Wednesday, Judge, if he's been indicted following Wednesday.
I mean, I can give him, I hadn't set a bond yet on it, I don't think. I could give him an OR bond, that way it gives common police the ability to hold him or release him however they want to handle it.
We're not opposed to that.
Okay, so I'll change it to an OR bond. You can have an OR bond currently, $2,000 OR, and then come back maybe May the 12th.
That's good.
Is that good?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so if you get released, Mr. Tooley, by the common plea, I'm leaving it up to the common pleas court, and I'm giving you a signature bond to get out on.
That's the 20th.
So it'll be up to the common pleas judge, they can set your bond. I'm not gonna hold you up, so if they let you out or set a bond you can make, then you gotta get to the court in Chesapeake on May the 12th on your own. Of course, if you're still in custody, if they set a bond you can't make out of common pleas and you're still in custody, then I'll see you just like this, I'll see you on camera. And so will your lawyers.
They want to
Okay.
here.
So I'll have a bond at Superior Court too?
You'll have to post the bond there. You've got a new charge you've been indicted on, but you haven't been arraigned yet. You may be arraigned Wednesday of this week. That, I don't get to schedule the common pleas court, so it could be this Wednesday, maybe the Wednesday after that, but it should be before May 12th.
Okay.
May the 12th is on a Monday.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, May the 12th, you gotta be in court in Chesapeake, one way or either digitally or in person.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all.
State of Ohio versus Joseph Barber, case number CRA 24679 A and B, CRB 24680.
The wife was his wife. And so
Judge.
she got a bunch of letters
Yes, sir.
about treatments.
Judge,
It's the wife.
would you excuse me for 20 seconds so I can get the paperwork on a case that's coming up?
Yes.
This is not called to this file. You don't even have called to this file.
Hey, Butch.
You don't even have this file.
Mr. Barber is being held by probate and juvenile.
Okay.
I can't hear you.
You said you're being held by probate juvenile court on some charge out of that court.
For child support, Your Honor, it's already all paid for. I got hold of Mr. Kincaid this morning, and he got me in with magistrate reporters so I can take this. It was a warrant for a failure to appear when I was having chemotherapy, and I'm assuming once I go up there, since I'm no longer in the system with the child support, it's all paid for. They're just going to dismiss that.
Well, your lawyer's out of the room right now, so let's, when he comes back in, then we'll proceed.
Okay, thank you.
And he's been at RRS.
Yes, sir.
While you were out of the room, stated that he has a holder out of probate juvenile court for failure to pay child support, but he thinks that is current and that it should be dismissed shortly. So that's why he's in custody now. He had been in treatment with RRS, and they submitted a report saying that he is compliant.
I'd like to leave him at RRS and outpatient, Judge.
Okay. Well, nothing's changed here. He's not in custody because of anything from this court, so I would just give him another date and direct him to stay in treatment once he is released and come back at that future date, so about a month out, probably 1st of June sometime, Mr. Morford.
That's good, Judge.
Thank you, sir.
Let's make it June 2nd, first Monday in June.
Thank you, Mr. Capper.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'll get this taken care of. I'm trying to stay on the straight and narrow.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you again. I think I'm done. Yeah.
State of Ohio versus Ashley Donna, case number CRA 23745, CRB 23746, and Oscar Leach is on deck.
Hey, Butch.
This is Mr. Steyer's case, set for preliminary hearing and pre-trial.
Your Honor, this is a case that was set back in December of 2023. There's allegedly a failure to appear. Cases are still pending. I'm not actually sure when Ms. Donoff was picked up. Is this set for pre-trial today or for arraignment?
Pre-trial.
She got arrested, it looks like, and arraigned on the warrant on the 25th.
Okay, so we're here for pre-trial today, or I guess preliminary hearings, less pre-trial.
Yes.
This would be a case where we would have been, generally would be looking for a substance abuse assessment, but due to the age, I'm going to ask Ms. Donna if she's undertaken any kind of treatment in the time, in the year and a half or so that this has been pending.
I've actually tried to stay on Suboxone, stay clean, yes.
Well, have you done any treatment through a treatment provider?
Oh, no.
I
would like to go though.
Back in '23, she was referred to RRG, which is the West Virginia provider, or a West Virginia provider.
Are you still a West Virginia resident, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a medical card in West Virginia?
Yes, sir.
Looks like...
Why don't we get her, well, I don't know if it's been good at this point. She's been in...
My understanding is she's been in since the 22nd.
22nd. Okay.
So,
Been a while.
about a week. I think anything would be out of her system by this point, but it might be worthwhile. Can you deal with what's your medical card? Okay, Bethesda would be interested in speaking to her.
You want to screen her first? Okay, I'm going to have a provider call down and talk to you, and then we'll come back after that happens.
Thank you.
State of Ohio recalls Oscar Leach to the Lawrence County Jail, case number CRB 25244.
All right, this is Mr. Stiers' case.
Can you hear us, sir?
Mr. Leach, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay. So, Your Honor, we may have a possible way to work this one out. Mr. Leach has been in jail for 2 days since his arrest. The state, and I'm not completely up on my Ohio geography, but I believe Jackson County is contiguous with Lawrence County, so there's no need for a Rule 4 hearing on this. Mr. Leach is interested in a guilty plea to the shoplifting charge. The state would recommend that he be given credit for the 2 days in jail. I explained to him that you would probably have there'd probably be a probationary term, community service, and a fine, as well as an order to stay out of Walmart during the probation. And then, I think we usually do 10 days in jail, so another 8 would be suspended, and he would be immediately made available to Jackson County. In terms, I know that the court usually does a drug screen on these cases. I'm not sure if he's been in long enough that may be a moot point. And he's dealing with a possession charge in Jackson, so I would assume that there's probably going to be some sort of treatment element to that will be handled by, is it a felony case warrant out of Jackson or a misdemeanor? I didn't check that issue.
Well, let's see. I don't know if I can tell. It's out of the municipal court, but it could be from a preliminary hearing there. Let's see if I can tell. It's a CRA case number, so it is a felony. But it's it's a 21 CRA 244.
So, again, Your Honor, I know you usually have a treatment element, but where there's going to be a felony probation, I think it might be best to just to order compliance with whatever treatment is ordered through this felony case that he has in Jackson County.
Mr. Hill.
Those are my thoughts also, Your Honor. If he were to plead guilty today, maybe he could go off to Jackson County, but if the court wanted to keep him on probation, give him a date later to show up for a review or something, we wouldn't be opposed to that either.
Okay, I'll do that also. All right, Mr. Leach, your lawyer is saying you want to change your plea on this theft offense to guilty. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand, even if and I will sentence you today, you're not going to be able to walk out of jail, unless Jackson County agrees to it, they're going to be in control of whether you get released or how you're going to appear there. You're going to have to appear in Jackson County on this warrant. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, I'm going to accept your guilty plea. I'll impose a $100 fine. Court costs, 10 days in jail. I'll suspend 8, give you credit for 2 you served, order you to do 5 days community service here in this court's community service program, 2 years level 5 probation, and I'll just put in the order that you're, in case they don't get you, that you're to report to Jackson County Municipal Court on your warrant. I'll set a review hearing here for you in a few months. That way, if somehow you fall through the cracks, I want to see you back, and I may screen you then to see what your sobriety is. July 7th will be your review hearing.
Yes, sir.
At 9 a.m. Okay, do you understand what you need to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, that's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, we do have the recalls in jail. We're not ready for that yet.
Okay.
State of Ohio versus Richard Sloan, case number CRB 14630. Your Honor, this is set for a bond forfeiture hearing today. Mr. Steyer is listed as attorney.
Richard Sloan was set for sentencing March 24th. He has a bond up.
I think this may not, this may be, is this a review hearing matter that's sentencing on or something? Because I don't have him on my calendar at all.
It probably was, I think it was. He had failed to appear for review, got nabbed on a warrant, and then posted bond, and I put it on the sentencing docket.
Okay.
So you're not actively involved.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
What is the case number you're on?
Case number is 14630. So I'll let Mr. Sowards know, and I'll recall this later. Okay, Mr. Sowards responded that he would like more time, so I'll reschedule it. May 19th. For a bond forfeiture.
Your Honor, on the previous case, Oscar Leach, should I do a warrant to discharge? He has a whole right of Jackson County, but we sentenced him on our terms.
Yeah, that would be a separate one in their county.
State of
He doesn't get a hearing on that, since Jackson County touches Lawrence County, he has to go there without a hearing.
State of Ohio versus Jacob D. Richter, case number CRA 25231. Your Honor, he has been picked up for Picklewood County.
All right, this was a Rule 4 hearing for a county that doesn't touch Lawrence County. Gave them till today to pick him up, and they already have, so the case here is dismissed.
State of Ohio versus Dustin Barton, case number CRB 24782.
All right, so this is set for pretrial today. He's at RRS. And he did an assessment in February, but hasn't been back since then. So domestic violence. You don't have an attorney, sir?
No, sir. Since I started going to that RSS, or the RRS, I went there like a time or two, and then I switched over, I started going to Shawnee Mental Health Facility up there in Coal Grove. I started doing therapy every week, and they also got me on some medicine, so I'm feeling a little bit better, and yeah, it's been pretty smooth.
What's the state's position on this? I mean, it looks like I was not here. From the notes, it looks like there was an agreement it would be dismissed if he went to RRS for anger management and paid the court costs. And then it was set for a follow-up today.
Well, that's what we have too. You know, it's not ideal. If he actually has gone to Shawnee, we would like to take that into consideration, although obviously he should have told the court he wanted to do that, gotten permission to do it, but if he is doing that, we'd like to know about it. Our main concern is to make sure that he doesn't have any more problems like we had.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say you don't have any records from Shawnee with you.
I was going to get some, but my therapist, she was actually involved in a car accident the last week or so, so she hasn't been cleared for work to be able to write me a letter. But I can get you a letter, no issue.
The protection order was dropped by the request of the complaining party back in January 31st. How's the state want to proceed?
We'd like to reschedule this and have him bring a letter from Shawnee.
Okay. How much time do you think you need to get that done, Mr. Barker?
I'd say probably under a month, about a month so.
The 27th of May, you can have it then?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Next hearing is May 27th, for pretrial at 10 o'clock. Give us a report from Shawnee.
Yes, sir.
And we'd like to have Mr. Martin sign a time waiver also.
That's one. I got to sign or just say I sign it?
Here, we'll have you sign. This is sometimes keep on.
Oh, yeah, I was just in a car accident last week.
State of Ohio recalls Cassie Sloas, Lawrence County Jail, case number CRD 25-245 A and B. Cassie Sloas.
This is Mr. Morpher's case. Mr. Norford?
Judge, I've had a chance to speak with her, and she's asked me to modify the bond to an OR bond. She has no funds with which to hire services of a bail bondsman.
Well, unless the state would encourage me to do that, I wouldn't be likely to do this. She's got a Louisville, Kentucky address and probably, all right, well, that's the state one. Out-of-state address and looks like a friar.
I anticipated that they might make an offer to plead guilty in exchange for time served and at least a drug screen to see if she may need some alcohol counseling. If she wanted to do that, we would ask for a jail sentence in excess of the 2 days, but give her credit for those, and then suspend the rest of that time and have her do community service and do drug counseling if it's called for.
She's not willing to do that today, Judge.
I can't do that.
Okay, I didn't hear the last thing you said, ma'am.
Yes, I will do that.
I stand corrected then, Judge.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So you're changing your plea?
Yes.
What plea do you wish to enter?
Say guilty.
All right, anything you want to tell me before I sentence you?
Well,
You don't have to say anything, but you have the right to make a statement if you want to. Do you have anything you want to say?
I'm sorry.
Do you have a drug problem?
No.
Have you ever had a drug problem?
Yes.
Did you go to treatment?
Yes.
Where?
I did treatment in hospital.
Okay, I want you to do a urine screen while you're at the jail, and then I'll have you back after I get the results of your urine screen.
Okay.
State of Ohio versus Sean Paul Burns Jr., case number CRB 25117.
The Morford's case. Is he still at RRS?
Just for today recovery, Judge.
The last report I had, Mark was from RRS.
Yeah. I moved to, from RRS. They said I needed a higher level of care, Your Honor. Because I'm epileptic.
Okay, JFT recovery, I'm not familiar with that.
It's in South Point.
I'm not too familiar with them either. But Your Honor, we talked to John before we transferred him.
She'd have to be here to ask it. Well, next time we come to court, if she comes in, the contact will be lifted, it'll be lifted. When you get done with court, will depend on how you're progressing your treatment. That's the evidence they have against you.
How much longer?
What's the state's position?
I didn't really have a chance to look at the other. Is there something from the place that he's going now?
Yes.
And what's it called?
Just for today. Recovery.
Well, so he was discharged. Yeah. Well, that's not good. And I don't know whether, like mushrooms, they're talking about
what?
psychedelic mushrooms or just regular mushrooms. So he may have charges coming on that, I don't know.
Well, the thing is, see, something came in the mail, and I opened it in the office, and it had Sean B. on it. My name is Sean Burns, not Sean B. So you can't charge me with something that's not mine, that has no evidence. If my name is Sean Burns, not Sean B.
Okay, why don't we have Mr. Burns do a urine screen here today?
That's fine. I can do that.
May we
Do
approach
yours, Greg.
too, Your Honor?
I'm sorry?
May we approach?
Yes. We'll see what I guess.
State of Ohio versus Brittany Eplin, case number CRB 23589, A and B.
It's Mr. Morford's case. She's at the counseling center.
I was wanting to ask you something.
Yeah. You should run it by Mr. Morford first.
It's about the cardinal, where it shows what completed meets all my requirements.
And from
To where
where do you want to go from there?
they wanted me to complete a program. So I have. That's what I was showing you, the papers.
What did you tell me this was?
Person served.
The report's pretty good.
Thank you.
Judge, I think she wants me to direct your attention to an earlier report dated 9/9/24, which says that she apparently completed Cardinal, if I could approach.
Well, I have that in the file. You don't need to give it to me.
Okay. I think she is wondering, with that being said, why she's still in treatment.
I don't think there was a problem after that one. Yeah, she was positive in January, or I'm sorry, November for methamphetamine. And she had failed to appear for a hearing, and then I think what happened was it was discovered she'd relapsed at that point. That's when she started doing, she went to the place she first was at hometown. And there was an issue there, then she wound up going to the counseling center. But the report now is pretty good.
And she was pass eligible this past Saturday, which is something I know she's been wanting.
Yeah, I see that in the report, she's eligible for a pass now.
That's correct.
Did you do a pass?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How'd that go?
Good. I came back.
Yeah. Well, I don't see any reason to change now. I think you're on the right path. You're in recovery, but it hasn't been that long. I mean, you were successful for a while at Cardinal, but then you had a relapse after that, so that kind of starts the clock over again, as far as I'm concerned. So, but now you've got some new time in recovery, so we just need to build on that. And you're a young person, you got a lot of life to live if you get this straightened out.
Yes, sir.
So this has to be the top priority.
Yes, sir.
So I don't see why we should short circuit that.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Do I owe any fines?
You do, but I'm not really worried about that.
I was about to say, because I've been trying to do community service to get those paid off.
Yeah. As I said before, you getting clean is number one.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to focus on that right now. Don't worry about your fines and your community service later. You do have those to do. But I want you to, this is for the rest of your life. I want you to be clean.
Yes, sir.
From now on.
Yes,
You got to
sir.
make a commitment to that and make it the most important thing. You do. I want it for you, but me wanting it for you isn't going to make it happen. You got to want it for you.
Yes, sir, I do. And I also want to be able to go home.
I understand that, but let's go home, because home may be where some of the problems start. We got to make sure we're ready to go home and deal with the issues you're going to confront when you go there, right?
Yeah, but my parents don't use drugs.
Okay.
My mom and her husband doesn't use drugs.
Well, at some point, that's where you're going to go when you leave treatment. You're going to go live with them.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, that could be a good plan, but somewhere along the line, I don't know who, I don't know all your contacts, but somewhere you got introduced to drugs. And I'm going to guess it was probably a while ago.
I started when I was 15.
Okay. So it probably wasn't your parents that introduced you to drugs.
No, sir.
Typically, that's not the case, but somebody does. Somebody does in your life, and we know 15 actually is kind of old. For people that use drugs, most of them get introduced to it before 15. So I got to tell this story because it's scary for anybody that's got kids or how this can happen. So I had a girl that was, this has been a few years ago when heroin was really big, and she was a heroin addict, and I sent her to treatment with Bob Vinson. Bob's not, his company's not even in existence anymore. But anyway, I was out there touring the facility while she was there, and I said, tell me your story. She was only 21 years old then. How did you get hooked on heroin? She said, when I was 14, so she was younger than you. She said, I went to a sleepover at a friend's house. And one of the other girls that I didn't even know, there were several girls that came, brought OxyContin and said, I hear it's really cool to crush these up and snort them. And she said, I did it that night. And from 7 years later, I was doing heroin. I'd never even tasted alcohol up to that point. I never drank, done the drug, nothing. At that sleepover, I snorted OxyContin. So that's how it can happen. Somebody introduces you to it. And somebody's got to introduce you to it again when you leave treatment. When you go out, you have to be equipped to deal with the people that are going to try to pull you back in. And a lot of them you may think are your friends. So we got to get you prepared for that.
Yes, sir.
Maybe get some new friends.
I have made a lot of new friends in treatment.
Some clean friends. Okay, so I think you need to stay where you are. We'll come back in a month and see where you are then.
Do I have to do transitional or just complete the program?
I think you need to do whatever's going to keep you clean. So So use the folks there at the counseling center to help you come up with a plan. They're going to help you come up with a plan. One of them is getting a job. I think that's really important. You need to get a job.
Yes, sir.
That's part of, having a purpose in life and being able to support yourself is really a key, I think, to people staying clean. One thing is, if you got to work, it leaves less time to do drugs and party. You got to get to work. So at some point, that's going to be a part of this too. You getting a job.
He's giving you a lot.
How old are you, Brittany? How old are you now?
25.
25. You could easily live another 75 years, especially with the advances in healthcare and everything, and you're a woman. But if you go out into our community and start using drugs, you are not going to live to 75 more years. I mean, it's just a fact. I want you to have a very long, productive, good life. So now we're laying the basis for that right now. So let's put the time in here. A little bit of time in here will pay off dividends down the road.
Yes, sir.
I know sometimes it's hard to look down the road very far, but don't be short-sighted. Let's get it done and be successful. Okay, how about May 23rd?
That's good to hear, Your Honor.
Okay, May 23rd is the next hearing. Okay, stay the course. You're doing good.
Thank you.
State of Ohio recalls Ashley Donna to Lawrence County Jail, case number CRA 23745, CRB 23746. And Herman James Dalton will be on deck at the jail.
Okay, so you did an assessment for Ms. Donna.
Yes, and I can take her today.
You're willing to go?
Yes, I am.
All right, I'll order release to Bethesda, patient, treatment.
And when would we like to come back on this, Your Honor?
I think you said the 12th, you're not available?
No, I am available the 12th.
Okay, May 12th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge Catherine.
You're welcome. Take advantage of this and do good.
Yes, sir.
On a $5,000 bond, I started looking at it earlier.
5,000 OR.
On
Yeah.
no ankle monitor.
No ankle monitor.
No, bro.
Yes. Okay. Well, that tells you something. Who's served all your books if you was doing that?
State of Ohio,
And show Mr. Hill too.
State of Ohio versus Herman James Dalton at the Lawrence County Jail, case number CRA 25248, and Cassie Sluss is on deck.
I told her it was coming.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and call a case here till we get Mr. Dalton on the screen.
State of Ohio versus Carissa A. Dameron, case number TRC 25709, A, B, and C.
This is Mr. Morford's case, and she's at Bethesda.
Thank you.
Okay. It's a good report. Sounds like you got stuff you're working on.
Yes, I do.
That's what this is for.
Yes.
Things going good?
Things are going good. We're getting adjusted and we are finding out some things that we need to work on, some other things with her children, and we're trying to just lay the foundation right now.
Okay, so some of the stuff I said before
I heard it.
applies to you.
Yes, sir.
You're a little different face than she is, but not that much different. So, I get, you got a lot of fans out there.
Yeah.
I hear from them. They're pulling for you.
Yes, sir.
I think you know that.
Yes, sir.
But ultimately, it comes down to you. You have to do it. But I think it helps to have people that are in your corner.
It does.
But ultimately, you have to do the work.
Yes, sir.
So, I think you got a good start. I'm sure the state wants to know if this is gonna, well, this is a misdemeanor, so it's saying there's no felonies with it,
But there is an endangering children charge that goes along with the OBI charge. And we want to give her an incentive to do well, and I know she loves her children and probably regrets having them in the car with her. But if she were to plead to the OBI charge, we'd hang on to the endangering charge, and if she's successful in treatment, we would dismiss that charge later on.
Yes. Yes.
She's agreeable to change the plea, Judge.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, well, since this is a first offense, so I'm gonna, and there's no bond up or anything, so there's no advantage of sentencing her at this point. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna accept your plea to the ODI. I'm going to delay the sentencing, and we'll keep the endangering charges pending. They'll get dismissed if you're successful in treatment. So, you still have relationships with your kids?
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's something that this can all help, right?
Yes.
That's another incentive for getting clean.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's come back. I think I said something for you, Mr. Morford, on May 23rd. Let's use that date for this case too.
Thank you, Judge.
And it'll be on the sentencing document.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Sentencing and pre-trial.
What date, Your Honor?
May 23rd.
Your Butch.
Your Honor, Mr. Dalton is on the screen.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do his case. Sir, are you Herman James Dalton?
What is it? Yes.
You're Herman James Dalton?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Dalton, I'm Judge Capper at the Lawrence County Municipal Court, which is in Chesapeake, Ohio. You're appearing in court today on a monitor in the courtroom, so your image and what you say is all being recorded. You don't have to say anything. You have a right to remain silent. If you do say things, though, everything that you say is on the record. So, for instance, if you admit something that's damaging to your case, the state could use that against you. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You have a right to have an attorney, to have one appointed if you can't afford one, to have bail, and to make the state prove the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand those things?
Yes.
The allegation here is that you have a warrant out of Washington County, Ohio, that's where Marietta is the county seat, from the Common Pleas Court there, and it's some sort of criminal case. They don't really tell me. It just says this is Judge Kereny, K-E-R-E-N-Y-I, ordering your bond revoked and a warrant to be issued for your arrest, and that was filed on April the 14th of 2025. So you have a right to what's called a Rule 4 hearing. That's a hearing to determine if you are the correct Herman James Dalton, if there's good reason to send you to that court on this warrant. And you can have an attorney appointed if you want to have the hearing here. You can waive the Rule 4 hearing. If you waive it, then I'll set a bond. If you can post it, then you go turn yourself in. If you can't post it, I'll order Washington County to come get you. So how do you want to proceed? Do you want a lawyer, or do you want to waive and go to Washington County?
I want to go to Washington County.
so you're gonna waive your right to a Rule 4 hearing. So we'll send out a waiver for you to sign. They don't tell me what do you say the charge is there? They don't even.
It's aggravated possession,
Okay.
and that's fine.
State take any position on this?
No, Your Honor.
I'm gonna set your bond at $3,000, cash or surety. Is that a bond you think you could post?
I'm currently in a rehab. I'm in Southern Hope Rehab right now, and I'm just trying to get down there so I can get my case taken care of so I can get back to my rehab.
Okay. Does Washington County know you were at Southern Hope?
Yes. I think they didn't know that before they posted the warrant, but then once I found out I had a warrant, I had them contact them and let them know that that's where I was at, and that's the reason I never appeared in court, because I didn't know I had a court date. I was already up here in Southern Hope.
Okay.
I've been there for about 2 weeks, and I just got my warrant just like maybe a couple days ago, I think it was.
Yeah. Okay, well, as long as the warrant's outstanding, I've got to honor it. So if they withdraw it, then you can go back to Southern Hope. But otherwise, you're going to have to go back and check in with that court. They may send you back to Southern Hope or do something else, but that's up to the Washington County Court. Okay? So I'm going to say you'll need a Rule 4 waiver. Do you have one? Usually I have one in the file. I don't.
I don't think it's out on this computer, but we can get one.
Okay. We'll send down a waiver for you to sign. I'll put your case on our docket for next Monday, which is May 5th. You should not be here. I'll order them to come get you before then. That should happen. If it doesn't happen, usually that means somebody didn't communicate. So if you're still in the jail on May the 5th, we'll have you here for a hearing to see what happened, why you're not in Marietta by that time.
Okay. And that's how many days left?
A week from today.
A week? All right.
Do you have any questions, sir?
No, I'm just a little bit slow, so it takes a little bit for me to comprehend everything all the way, so I'm sorry.
That's fine. Your questions were appropriate. Do you have any other questions?
No, that's it.
Okay, a waiver will be faxed down for you to sign. You're just waiving the right to a hearing for me to decide if you are the person that should be sent to Marietta or not, or they got you confused with somebody else.
All right, so now that's for them to come and pick me up, right?
Then I'll order them to come get you.
All right.
Okay, that's all.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Cassie Slovis at the Lawrence County Jail, case number CRB 25245 A and B.
Okay, let's go on to
She's still
some.
trying to turn screen, I guess you're all right.
Okay, we'll go on to some hearings here.
State of Ohio versus Sean Paul Burns on a recall, case number CRB 25117.
Okay, he has a clean screen, so that's a good indication. We'll just keep you where you are, continue with your treatment, and come back on that May 23rd date, Mr. Morford.
Please, Judge.
May 23rd will be your next hearing, 10 o'clock.
Also, Your Honor, I would like to also say that I got a job. I start this Friday at Goodwill in Huntington on Virginia Avenue. So I was looking for a job and I got a job.
Very good.
I also wanted to ask about that domestic violence.
It's still pending. That's what your charge is, pending.
Yeah.
I think the state was mostly interested in seeing you complete treatment and get clean. I think that's what they wanted to see happen. So I don't think they're gonna be asking for jail time or anything like that on it.
Yeah, okay, so just complete the.
It's just, it's still pending now, you don't have a record at this point, you haven't pled guilty to it. We're letting it pend while you go to treatment.
All right, just complete the program.
Complete it, yes,
All right.
sir.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Yes.
All right, thank you. Yes, sir.
Jack. We can go ahead and do it.
What'd you do with the folder?
I got it. All right, Cassie Sloas is Mr. Morford's case. She did not have a screen, and so she tried to invalidate, give not a valid screen, but material from the toilet. So the only way I'd send her to treatment now is if she went with an ankle monitor.
And she might have a charge coming out
Okay.
related to that too.
Well, let's do this then. That can be. So I'm going to change, or keep her bond at $2,500 cash or surety. I'll set her for sentencing on Friday. And we'll see if new charges come out of this. So that would be May 2nd. So our next hearing is May 2nd for sentencing, 10 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
We're finished, Check.
Okay, that finishes up at the jail.
State of Ohio versus Reese Frazier, case number CRB 2558.
Mr. Morford's case, pretrial.
Yeah. You want to see? Yeah. Judge, could we have a short continuance? You'd like to come in and see the video from Walmart? We'd wait time.
May 12th?
That's good.
May 12th will be the next hearing for pretrial.
State of Ohio versus Travis Jarrett, case number CRB 2197, A and B.
We got it. Thank you very
much. This is Mr. Morford's case.
Your Honor, I have 4 certificates or completion of courses that he wants you to see.
That's a 21 case, separate chances of her.
This is an old case, but it is a resisting, so I don't know what the state's position.
Well, we wanted to check and see, we also have domestic violence. Is Haley Moore here? We had,
Subpoena her.
yeah, and I don't know whether she got served or, it's an old case.
Well, there's no, I don't see a return on the, see where it was requested, recipe for but I don't see any return on it.
So
Haley Moore. It's a 21 domestic. It's a whole case.
May I say something, sir?
We should probably run it by your lawyer.
I haven't had contact with this girl since all this.
They know that. He just wanted to let you know that there had been no further contact.
Since 21?
Yes, sir.
So we would, we'll nolly that charge, the domestic violence charge, and in the unlikely event that Ms. Moore would come forward and say that the case still needs to be pursued, we would refile it, but that's not likely. But to do that, we would request then that Mr. Gerald would plead guilty to the resisting arrest, and we would recommend we'd be satisfied with the plea at this point. And I guess maybe a suspended jail sentence with no probation.
He'll take Mr. Hill up on the state's offer, Your Honor, and interchange the plea to guilty.
Is that correct, Mr. Gerald?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any statement you want to make?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, on the resisting, I've read the affidavit. Sounds like it was resisting, but not aggravated, just failed to, cooperate with giving your arms for cuffing and things like that. So I'll impose a $100 fine, court costs, 5 days in jail suspended on condition you pay your fine, court costs.
Yes, sir.
And level 5 probation that ensures you pay 2 years probation. You'll have a review hearing on October 24th of this year. So the way this works is you got till October 24th to take care of everything, your fine and court costs. If you do, you don't have to appear. If for some reason you can't get it done, you got to show up on October 24th, explain why you haven't got it done, or you get a warrant for not appearing.
I'll have it done today.
Okay, then your case will be over.
Thank you, sir.
See the clerk to do that.
If it's not done, that's when you come back.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No.
So do we nolly?
You want these back, these certificates?
Do we nolly?
State of Ohio versus Gary Calico, case number TRC 25546A and B.
All right, Mr. Calico, have you retained a lawyer?
Yes, Mr. Steyer.
Mr. Steyer, okay.
There's been a protection order since 2021. I've been dismissed. Yeah.
There may have been some sort of foul up to you asked me earlier if you had anything else, and his name wasn't on the docket for this case, so.
Texting Mr. Steyer right now. Okay, just have a seat, sir, and we'll see if he responds.
State of Ohio versus Douglas Kerr, case number TRB 25115. Douglas Kerr.
Okay, so on the pretrial docket, bond up, Mr. Sowers, he said he was a veteran, and I referred him to the VA, local VA. So let's do, I think I said a couple other bond forfeiture hearings for May 19th for Mr. Sowers. So that date for the bond forfeiture. And I've notified Amanda Rayburn at the VA too that he failed to appear.
Oh, no, Dennis Curd.
Yes.
It's a bond forfeiture.
State of Ohio versus Jesse J. Ward, case number TRD 24505.
Okay, we were looking to get your license reinstated, right? Have you been able to do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And I need somebody to get, he got some paperwork. I think.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, he's got the paper license that they now give when people pass. Yeah, let's get a copy and we'll put it in the file. And I think I told you I would dismiss it if you got your license. So case will be dismissed. And you can get, Mr. Cooper will bring your license back to you. So wait around for that, then you're free to go.
Thank you, sir.
Case is dismissed.
State of Ohio versus Jeremy Gunter, case number CRB 15539.
Okay, this is, there's a bond up now, you have community service and fines and court costs. Okay, how are you gonna take care of this?
I've already done my community service. I turned it in Thursday.
Okay, Mr. Cooper, is that correct?
What
He
was
says he turned in some community service.
Thursday.
I would have to double check. I don't remember off the top of my head, Your Honor.
Who'd you turn it into, sir?
I turned it into the court out here. They put it in the community service officer's box.
Okay.
Are you the one I talked to on the phone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I do believe I did talk to someone Thursday.
Yes, it was me.
Jeremy Gunter.
I can go verify real quick if you'd like.
Okay, let's do that. What about you paid $100 for your fine?
Yeah.
All right, well, it looks like you're going to have some credit, so let's, and you've been here all day?
I've been here since 10.
Okay. Saturday, if you come out, you get, if you have all your community service done, you'll get $100 credit for your fine, or if you haven't finished it, you get 2 days credit for doing 1 day.
Okay, great.
That's May 3rd.
Okay,
Set
great.
your next hearing. Does it matter if it's Mondays or Fridays,
No,
or another day?
it doesn't matter.
I'm gonna set it for May 27th then, because that's a Tuesday. Usually court's Monday and Friday, but the 26th is Memorial Day. So we'll have court on Tuesday, the 27th, and that'll be at 9 a.m. If you get it finished, you don't have to come out.
Okay.
May 27th, 9 a.m.
All right, thanks, sir.
I'm sorry. I misspoke. It's gonna be at 10 a.m. and it's just, because you have a bond up, you treat it as a sentencing. So wrong, 10 o'clock, you got a bond up now, so that's why you're on a different docket.
Okay. Your Honor, if I may, he did turn his community service in.
Okay.
It has been credited.
All right, so, you got your fine to work on.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Antoine S. Brown, case number CRA 25230. There was some mix-up on this. Mr. Stanley here earlier, he said we really didn't need to call him up because he waived his preliminary hearing.
Okay. And is that RRS? Okay. I wasn't sure you would get out Friday, so did you get out? You got out Friday?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because a lot of times we can't get that done on Fridays. Okay, so, okay, so we got you started where you need to be. It looks like you got a good report. And you got a monitor on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I gave you the talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I started when I was like 7, drinking. And then like partying with my friends, getting high.
So you heard what I said about that?
Yeah.
too, so-
And I just want to do the right thing. I'm tired of always looking over my shoulder
Yeah.
and doing dumb stuff.
Well, this could be a great new beginning for you.
And plus, I had a baby on February too. So
Well, the most important thing I think that you could do for that baby is get clean.
yeah,
We know statistically, parents that use, their kids have a higher chance of using.
yeah.
So you don't want that for your kids, do you?
No, absolutely not.
So, I mean, it's no guarantee your kid's not gonna wind up with a problem anyway, but it makes the chances less that they are if you demonstrate to them, sobriety and that you're clean. That helps. So, okay, you're on the right path here and got a good report. So this will be a preliminary hearing. May 23rd. Okay? May 23rd, 10 o'clock. Okay.
Sir.
Good job.
State of Ohio, excuse me, State of Ohio recalls Gary Calico.
Let's see, I texted Mr. Steyer, let's see if he says he's on his way. Okay.
That's
He's
what I
coming.
was gonna say, I got a hold of him as well, he said he's on his way back.
Okay.
So let's stay ahead.
All right, well, I'm going to take a little recess till he gets here, and then when he gets here, we'll call you back up. Course of recess.
They did? It might have been when I was typing charges, maybe I missed that.
It was a little hectic